Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another Iris tutorial video. My name is Alex and in this session we are going to talk about setting up a profile in AutoCAD for Iris. In the last video we talked about setting up an Iris profile for exhibitware, and that's primarily for any designer that has had to use exhibitware in the past and has to revert to it in order to complete drawings. If you already had a profile created, or if you're a new designer and haven't used exhibitware for anything, you can skip that video and go straight to this one. We're also going to cover the destination and location of where we're going to put all of the files that we downloaded in Iris resources that we put onto our desktop. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. To create a new profile, we're going to go ahead and go into AutoCAD. And just to avoid any confusion, I'm going to go ahead and just start this with a new drawing. Now, just as a quick reminder, some of these steps might look pretty familiar as we may have covered them in our last video, but I'm going to review them again here real fast just in case you didn't need to watch that one. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to bring up the options menu, and you can do this one of two ways. You can either right click into the model space window and click options, or you can simply type options into the text command box down at the bottom, and the same thing pops right up. Now if you watched the last video, you saw that we already created a profile for exhibitware, which is what we're seeing right here. If you didn't watch that video and you open up your options, it may default over to the Files tab. For this video, we're going to start over here on the Profiles tab and then work out from there. So to create a new profile, we're going to add one to the list simply by clicking Add to List. And we'll name the profile Your Name, Iris. Click Apply and Close, and it should populate down into the list. Once the new profile is created, highlight the new profile and hit Set to Current. And this will do exactly as it says. It'll set this to your current profile. With the profile set, we can now go into these other tabs and start changing the settings basically to accommodate everything that we need for Iris. So starting with that information, we're going to go over to the Files tab, as I'm highlighting right here, and we're going to go into Support File Search Path, and we're going to click this plus button to twirl it open. Now in this Support File Search Path option, this is where we're going to add these 4 files. Now I already have them added in here, but I'll show you how to add them in. First thing we'll do is we'll click Add and then click Browse. And what this will do is this will set you right to the beginning of this PC, and we're going to navigate through these file trees in order to load up these files. To get where you need to go, we're going to go to your C drive, then we're going to go to Users, and then we're going to go to your username. Now if you're using this on a Shepard workstation, it's most likely going to be your first name's initial and then your last name. This is a personal workstation and it just has my name, so we'll just go ahead and click Alex, and I should also mention, click the arrow in order to open it up. We'll then go down to Dropbox and we'll highlight Iris. Now don't open this up, just highlight Iris and hit OK, and it populates it down to the list. Now there are 3 other folders that we have to add to this, and I'll just go through these real quickly to show you which ones need to be done. So we'll click Add, Browse, C drive, Users, Username, Dropbox, and then we'll we'll highlight Library and pop this in. The next one will be Add, Browse, C drive, Users, Username, and for this one we're just going to do Dropbox. We're not going to go down into either the Iris or the Library folder. We'll just highlight Dropbox and hit OK, and it'll populate in there. Now if you've been watching carefully, you'll notice that I actually have another folder in here that has my name on it. I'll go ahead and throw it in there real fast. Add, Browse, C drive, Users, Username, Dropbox, and my name. And click OK. Now, it's not imperative to put the last one in that has your name, and if you didn't create a folder in Dropbox that has your name, that's okay. We can do that a little bit later. So now that we have those folders put in, we're going to click Apply, but not click OK because it'll close the window out. Instead, we're going to scroll up to the top and collapse this window, or excuse me, collapse this option here by clicking on the minus sign. Now, kind of as a double check measure, we're going to go one option down to Working Support File Search Path, and twirl that open, click the plus sign, and automatically it should show these same folders that we put in there. This isn't something that we can add. As you can see over here, every single one of these options are grayed out. So if it's not showing up here, there's a chance that it didn't take in Support File Search Path. So just go ahead and pop these back in here, and they should populate down here. The next part is specific to any user that's using AutoCAD 2015 and 2016. This isn't something that's in AutoCAD 2013, and we're going to be looking in the Trusted Locations option. For Trusted Locations, we'll twirl this open by clicking the plus sign, and right here you'll see that I don't have these added in yet, so I'm going to go ahead and add in those same 4 folders by clicking Add, Browse, C Drive, Users, Username, Dropbox, Iris. And when you go to click it, it's going to tell you that the location of the specified file is not read-only. We're going to go ahead and click Continue click Continue for this. And just as before, we'll go ahead and add in the other folders. And that takes care of them. Once we have all those in, we'll click Apply, and then we'll collapse the Trusted Locations option by clicking the minus sign. Now once you're done with this, go ahead and click OK, and this will close the Options dialog box. And temporarily we're going to bring it back open. We just want to make sure that everything is saved. And the next part that we're going to concentrate on is Printer Support File Path. And once you twirl that open, we're going to look for Printer Configuration Search Path. Click on this, but don't double click because it'll take you straight to the location. Click on it again and highlight it, and either right click and click Copy, or just simply Control C to copy it to your clipboard. Once we have that, click OK, and minimize AutoCAD temporarily. We're going to bring up 2 windows here. First one is just going to be the Iris Resources folder, which is straight off your desktop. And the other one is going to be a blank one that just goes straight to your desktop. Now, up here in the address area, go ahead and either hit Control V or right click and hit Paste. And this will take you to the plotter location for that. And what we're looking to do with this is we're looking for a destination for this PC3 file. And the PC3 file in here is Iris Plot 1. Now you can move it over, or what I actually prefer to do is I prefer to copy it and then paste it over. And I actually already have this in here, but I'll go ahead and replace it just for the sake of the demonstration. Once we have that done, we can go ahead and close out the PC3 folder, but we're going to keep the one open that is based off the desktop. And we'll go back 1 folder just so we can get to the design templates and the send to shop files. We're going to go back into AutoCAD, type in options, and then we're going to go to template settings. In template settings, we're going to go ahead and twirl this open, and we're going to go down to the first option here that says drawing template file location. Now this is basically what it means. All of your drawing template files are going to be stored in this location, and you can set it to whatever folder you need it to be. What we're going to do is we're going to keep it as what it is right now and move everything over there. So just as before, we'll highlight it, give it a second, click it again so it highlights, and then copy it. Now that we have this address copied to our clipboard, we'll go ahead and click cancel because we don't need to make any changes to it. Minimize AutoCAD, bring up another Windows Explorer window, and we'll paste this into here like so. And what this does is it brings up the file location, or excuse me, the folder location of all of your drawing templates. With the location over here on this window, we're going to concentrate over on the left side and open up Designer DWTs. And what we want to do is we want to highlight the one that has your name on it, and we'll copy it. And I'm actually going to just do Control-C, Control-V just because it's a little bit faster. And we'll paste it into this location. And just like the last one, I already had one in here, but I'll go ahead and click Replace the File in the Destination option. With it copied over, we're going to go back into AutoCAD, and we'll type in options, and we'll go down to template settings, and we'll twirl that open, and then go down to the third option, which is default template file name for QNew. What this is this is going to set a template that appears every single time you open up a new file. To change it, twirl the option open and double click it. This will take you to the folder that we were just in recently and look for the one that has your name on it. Once you have it, click open and apply and OK. And then you can take this and test it by, we'll close this out just for an example. You can test it by clicking Start Drawing, and you should see that this template appears as it should. Now that we have that all done, we're going to change one more option. We're going to go type in options, and we're going to go to plot and publish, and underneath here where it says use as default output device, we're going to get a drop down here, and we're going to set it to Iris Plot 1 PC3. Now the location for this is going to be based on the very first option that we put in for the printer settings. Once we have that set, hit apply and OK. If you want, you can go back into options and double check through here to make sure that we've got our 4 folders. Our 4 folders here. The same 4 folders in trusted locations. The printer configuration search path, although we didn't change it. And the template settings, default template file name for QNew, should show the one that has your name. And very lastly, we can go to plot and publish and double check to make sure that our default output device is Iris Plot 1 PC3. Once you have all that done, make sure that everything is set on the Iris profile. Click Set to Current just to make sure that it takes, and hit OK. To test whether or not it worked, you can do one of 2 things. You can type in IHK, which stands for Iris Hotkey, and hit enter. And this will bring up all the Iris functions that we have to work with. If it doesn't come up, try typing in Iris first and give it a second, and you'll notice that it loads in a whole bunch of options here. You can actually look at these by hitting F2 on your keyboard, and you'll see all of these functions for Iris load in. Once that's done, simply type in IHK for Iris hotkey, and it'll populate a list of all the functions. Now that we have this all set up and ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this drawing, and I'm not going to save it because we haven't done anything to it yet. I'm going to keep this drawing up because it's something that I'm still working off on the side, and I'm going to minimize AutoCAD here real fast. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to set up the send to shop functions out of the Iris resources folder. So we'll go back to S2S files and click into that. And over in your other window, we're going to go to your C drive. And if you haven't created a folder yet called Iris, create a new folder and drop it into this location. Once you have it, create another folder inside of it called S2S. Now, don't pay attention to any of these other folders and files that I have in here. These are just my records for doing some testing and some other work on Iris, as well as the tutorial videos that I'm working on. So we're going to go into S2S, and we want to take these two files here on this side, copy them, and paste them over here. And now we should have send to shop VBS and send to shop common VBS. To set a link to this to the desktop, I'm actually going to close these out and just go straight to the desktop. Now, if you have exhibitware on your computer, go ahead, click on this, and rename it to xzware-s2s. And this will be an exhibitware send to shop folder only. Right next to it, right click, click new, and shortcut. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a send to shop for Iris. So we'll actually have two send to shop icons up here. To get to it, click browse, go to this PC, twirl it open, C drive, Iris, S2S. And the one that we want to do a shortcut of is send to shop, not send to shop common. Once you have send to shop highlighted, hit OK, hit next, and for the name of the shortcut, I prefer to call it Iris S2S, and hit finish. Now that we have that all completed, we now have a profile in AutoCAD for Iris. I'll bring that up. And one for exhibitware. So if I need to switch over to exhibitware for any reason, I can just click it, click set to current, and I can do anything that I need to do in exhibitware. If I need to switch back to Iris, same thing. I just highlight it, hit set to current, apply, and OK, and we're good to go. And just as we have two separate profiles in AutoCAD for Iris and exhibitware, we have a send to shop specifically for exhibitware and a send to shop specifically for Iris. Between the two profiles and the two send to shop folder icons up here, we now have two fully functioning versions of AutoCAD in a way that we can still continue to work on. And as mentioned before, it's a good idea to take all of your exhibitware drawings that you're working on, finish those up in exhibitware, and then any drawings that you want to work on in Iris, do that in Iris. Keeping everything separate will really help us out if we need to do any error tracking for Iris. Now, I know I threw a lot of options and a lot of AutoCAD jargon and Iris jargon at you, so if you want me to take a look at this and make sure that everything is set up properly, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email and we can go through and review this through TeamViewer. If you want to, send me your TeamViewer username and I'll bring up my TeamViewer information here so you can see what I'm talking about. You'll be sending me your team user ID and team user password. Now this changes every single time, so don't worry about me going in and changing settings when you're not around. It's something that updates unless I specifically tell it that I want to go to your computer all the time. Once I have that information, I can get in there and take a look at it and make sure everything looks good. So now that we have all this done, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. This pretty much concludes everything that we need to do in order to set up a profile for Iris, as well as set up Iris itself in AutoCAD. And like I've said before many times, if you have any questions or comments about anything, feel free to contact me by phone or by email. And if needed, we can go through in TeamViewer and check stuff out on your computer in real time, and then we can get the issue taken care of over to the developer if we need to. And as mentioned many times in this video and other videos, if you have any questions or comments about anything, feel free to contact me either by email or phone, or if you're in the same office as me, just ask me. If you do have anything that you're a little bit curious about and you want me to take a look at, always send me over the TeamViewer information and I can take a look at it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope this has all been helpful. Have a good day.